What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new Gears 5 video, so let's get into it. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about Kait Diaz and one question in particular, and that one being, could Kait be the next Locust Queen? So let's talk about it. So there's been a lot of speculation over the last few months about Kait Diaz and where her character is going in Gears 5. Many people are speculating that Kait, obviously she's the main character of Gears 5. She's going to be the playable character that we take the helm of, or that we take control of, throughout the course of Gears 5. Now, I don't know if we're going to be playing Kait specifically, or if we're going to be able to play a little bit of some Marcus as well as JD. I'm hoping that is the case. That being said, though, Kait is a very mysterious character. We do know a lot of history about her, but the question is where is her character heading as far as the story arc and the narrative is concerned? Well, Kait, guys, I want to start off is, could she be the next Locust Queen? And I think that this is a real question that a lot of us are starting to ask ourselves. So to give you a little bit of some history, Kait was the daughter of former Lieutenant Colonel Gabriel Diaz of the Coalition of Ordered Government's Engineering Corps, and Reyna Diaz, the daughter of Mira, the Queen of the Locust Horde. So guys, right there, Reyna was the daughter of Mira, who was the Queen of the Locust Horde, and so obviously we know from Gears of War 4, the Swarm took Reyna, and they wanted to make Reyna the next Queen of the Locust Horde, but of course Kait euthanized Reyna, her own mother, in order to basically save humanity from another Queen of the Locust Horde. Kait was given that medallion from her mother Reyna, which on the back side of it was the symbol of the Locust Horde, which is symbolizing that Kait needs to kind of go back to maybe where this all started, try to take out the Locust Horde. But I believe, guys, there's a lot of speculation that Kait is going to be the next Queen of the Locust Horde, which I think would raise a lot of controversy in this game. But I think regardless of how you look at it, there's going to be controversy, because if you go and see the achievements of Gears 5, we will see here a whole list of different things, but as you go down the list, you'll see discovered the true threat to Sarah. And this is if you complete all acts of the campaign on any difficulty, you will earn the achievement for discovered the true threat to Sarah. So what could this mean? So it's a true threat to Sarah. So that being said, guys, we have to wonder, it's going to be someone that we're not expecting it to be. So here's the thing. A lot of people are speculating that it's possibly Kait that is going to be the next true threat to Sarah. But then again, I'm wondering if the Coalition is trying to kind of put a twist on it, that it's actually somebody that you are not expecting whatsoever to become that next true threat. Let's go back to Gears of War 3. In Gears of War 3, you know, we saw, of course, from the trailers, the Brothers to the End, Ashes to Ashes trailer. They were building this hype around Gears of War 3, which was definitely, you know, of course, extreme hype around the game. And what ended up happening was, a lot of people were thinking that all the characters were going to die. Some were saying Marcus was going to die. But they threw that curveball in there where Dom died in Gears of War 3, which was an extremely, you know, a moment that will resonate in gaming history as far as a campaign or story mode is concerned. That scene was absolutely powerful in many ways, but it was also kind of one of those scenes that I was not expecting Dom to die. I was kind of expecting, you know, all of them to die in Gears of War 3 because it's Brothers to the End. So there's a lot of, you know, hidden meaning in what Gears of War as a franchise has done over the years, and I think that this is no exception. So when we say discovered the true threat to Sarah, all signs are leading to Kait being that next true threat to Sarah. But at the same time, what if it's JD? What if it's Marcus for some reason? Which I would be extremely upset if it was Marcus especially. Even JD, I mean, we're taking the reins, or, you know, the torch was kind of passed from Marcus to JD in Gears of War 4, and we, you know, played as JD. And Marcus, it would just, you know, this is a guy who's battled the Locust Horde for so long. I just cannot see him, you know, turning, or if something actually happened to him in Gears 5 where he loses control of himself. I just don't see that happening. The one real thing that seems the most likely to me is Kait becoming the queen of the Locust Horde, which I don't think is a stretch, but maybe the Coalition wants to give us that indication that, hey, she very well, from Gears of War 4, she's kind of the one who's, you're going to have to keep an eye out on. And then in this game, they do a massive plot twist, which I think is very possible as well. I got a message on Reddit about this, and I thought it was quite interesting, so I was going to share this with you. There has been so many subtle hints, but not enough to really piece anything together. First, the achievement for beating the game is called Discovered the True Threat to Sarah. Second, in the Kait Unleashed trailer, Marcus to Kait conversation, Marcus says, "You find what you're looking for?" Kait says, "Yeah, and now we need to kill it." The third thing, also from the Kait Unleashed trailer, it says, "When the blood on your hands runs in your veins, who will you die for?" These clues lend to multiple possibilities, but I feel it heavily leans towards either Kait turning or sacrificing herself for the good of humanity. And I couldn't say it better, guys. These are the two most likely things that will most likely happen in Gears 5, in my opinion. I believe either Kait is going to turn and become the queen of the Locust Horde, and then in Gears 6, the reins are gonna be passed, or the torch is gonna be passed back to JD or Marcus, and you're gonna go after Kait and just the rest of the Locust Horde and try to end it all, which I think that could very well happen. The other thing is that she sacrifices herself for the good of humanity, which I think that is something that could happen as well. But here's the thing. One main reason, guys, why I believe Kait is going to be the next queen of the Locust Horde, you're playing as her throughout the game. So they want to give you this impression. You want to, you take control of this character. And I think they want this to be the dark side of Gears of War. There's been speculation that a trilogy is going to be made out of, these next Gears games. So Gears 5, 6, and 7. They're trying to make a new trilogy out of the Gears of War franchise. So I'm wondering if this is the Gears game where that is going to be extremely, dark in the standpoint. Kait turns, becomes the queen of the Locust Horde, and then Gears 6 and 7 is us as Marcus or JD, and we are going after her, and they kind of build it up. I feel that her sacrificing herself doesn't really make sense in this game unless there's no plan on making a Gear 6 and a Gear 7, unless for some reason her sacrificing herself destroys the Locust Horde once and for all. So that's kind of why I feel it's more likely that she's going to turn as far as become the queen of the Locust Horde than sacrifice herself for the good of humanity, and then the Locust Horde, ceases to exist after she sacrifices herself. It's kind of hard to say unless she sacrifices herself to save everyone from another queen of the Locust Horde. But I just don't really see the story going in that direction. But like we said, we've seen stranger things have happened as far as this series is concerned, and they could take it so many different ways. What I will say is I do believe that this game is going to have a lot of controversy around it, no matter which way they take Kait's character as well as the rest of the characters in this series and in Gears 5, but I'm very excited about it. I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think about this? Do you all think that Kait is going to turn and become the next queen of the Locust Horde? Do you think she's going to sacrifice herself for the good of mankind? Or do you think something completely out of the ordinary is going to happen, like JD is actually the real threat to Sarah, or one of the other cogs are the real threat? We know Carmine's coming back. There's a lot of speculation around his character in this game. There's just a lot of speculation around many characters in this game. And then, of course, the talk of like an epic crossover between the Halo and Gears of War universes, which I think is also very unlikely. But there's so many different ideas and so many different ways in which the Coalition and Microsoft can take this series. I just hope that it's in a direction that we are extremely excited about. I'll say that, Gears of War 4 was a real letdown for me as far as the campaign is concerned. I thought the ending was great, but I just thought that the campaign itself was very weak as far as it felt like you were just fighting a lot of robots instead of the Locust Horde in that story, and it just didn't really feel as a whole from, I guess, other than Judgment, which Judgment was completely, It just felt like a simulated Gears of War game. From the base 3, the first, the trilogy, it just felt like the weakest story out of all of those. So I just really hope that this game kind of takes us back to the original core kind of 3 games that we had in Gears of War, as far as from a standpoint of the story mode is concerned. Now, the multiplayer, I loved Gears of War 4's multiplayer, and I hope that kind of continues in Gears 5, but I just want to see, with a story in which could go so many different directions, I want to see something that is very memorable to us, but also something that can build onwards into the future for the franchise. But like I said, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.